it. What is happening, the internal mechanism, right? What is happening, the behind the scene, that you should be knowing it. So that what you can do is, if the situation, dictates you to do some kind of fine tuning because of the performance issues, you can, fine tune your strategy accordingly. Okay. The next one is the data types. What are the data types that are available in DAX? Same as the other, the RDBMS and other thing, right? What are the data types? 1 second, my cook is calling my. Sorry, extremely sorry. Okay. Next, we will continue with continue exploring the data types that are available in DAX. Like RDBMS system, here also we have integer, decimal, and we have something else called currency data type is available. The integer is nothing but the whole number here. Okay. The integer data type, it can store 64-bit value. All the internal calculations between the integer values in DAX also uses 64-bit value. This data type is called whole number. Okay, and we have something called data table. Okay, the data table function uses the integer to define a column of this data type. So that we will see it later, how to create a data table. Later point we will see it. The next one is the decimal number. In this case, it is a 64-bit real number, and it takes the value anywhere between these. So in negative numbers, ranges between these two, right? Values, it will ranges between these two values. And the positive numbers ranges between these two values. The next one is the currency. The currency data type is also called as the fixed decimal number. It stores a fixed decimal number. It can represent 4 decimal points, and it is stored internally as 64-bit integer value divided by 10,000. Divided by 10,000. That is what you need to be aware of this. They are not going to ask this much. This is for your knowledge. I just explained this one. And the ranges, right? It takes the ranges anywhere between these two, in the case of currency data type. Okay. And the next one is the date time. The data type, even in this case, it takes 64-bit. It takes 64-bit real number thing, and then it takes the range between March 1, 1900 through to December 31, 999. So anything after this, if you store it, it will not work. Anything before this, if you store it, it will not work. And the next one is the text data type. Okay, it's a Unicode character string. It represents strings, numbers, or dates in a text format. The maximum length is, this is the one. Okay, and the next one is the true false. It's a Boolean, and you know very well, right? So Boolean is either true or false. And the next one is blank. You have something called blank, and table is also available. And blank is stored as any, and table also stored as any. It represents a table in the data model. Okay, and it creates a blank. Sorry, it creates a blank with the blank function and verify blanks with is blank. There is a function called is blank. With that, we can check whether the column has a blank value in it or not. I think I have demonstrated as part of the Power Query Editor. When we have something called customer name column, there I use the blank function. Even after that, we are not able to get any blank value, right? In the case of customer name, because the customer name was a text data type in the case of Power Query Editor. In the case of text data type, there it considers the blank value as the string. So all right, the next one is operators. What are the operators that are available? It is same as other programming language. Okay, arithmetic, comparison, concatenation, logical, the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and exponentiation. For example, if you want to take, if you want to square the value 3 caret, you need to use caret 3, raised to the power caret 2. So that will give you 9, right? So 3 to the power 4, 81. Okay, these are the data types. Sorry, the arithmetic operators that are available here. And the next one is the comparison operators, the equal sign and then double equal sign. Strictly equal to, the difference between these two is this is equal to, this is strictly equal to. This one will be true only when number equals 0. So let's say you have 0 here. 0 is equal to 0, right? Then it will return true. Okay. And if it, right, so and if it is a blank, it will return false. For example, in this column, you have blank value. So blank, you are comparing with 0. So both of them are not same, hence it will return false. Even in this case, it will return the Boolean value. First name is equal to Ion. Let's say the person name is Ion. So Ion is Ion equal to Ion. So it will check if the condition is true. Okay, this kind of a condition, right? If the condition is true, then it will return true or false. It will return the Boolean value. The next one is the greater than, less than, or greater than or equal to. So if you want to check whether the given value is more than 100 or less than 100 or 100 or more than 100, if you want to check it, you will use these things. And the next one is the logical operators. The logical operators, the ampersand, double ampersand, you need to use it here. And here it's stored as a logical and if both expressions are true and return true, otherwise return false. Okay, in this case, look here, true and true equal to true, true and false is false. If any one of them is false here, right? So one is true. If you have the mix of true and false, in the case of the and, it will return false. Supposing you have false and false, what is the answer here? What value it will be given? False and false. True and true is true. False and false is true. Okay, and true and false is false, and false and true is also false. Okay, and the next one is the or. So we want to compare sometimes or. Either this condition is true or this condition is true. So you want to evaluate two conditions. If any one of the condition is true, still you can go ahead and return the value. In this case, true or true will give you true, and true or false will give, because at least these two things, right? One is true, hence it returns true. And false and true, one is true, hence it returns true. False and false is false in this case. False or false. Okay, here also false, and this condition also failing, and this condition also failing. Both the conditions are failing, hence it will not return any value. Okay, or. So if you want to use or in your DAX function, you need to use this one. How many of you remember I have used to mistakenly single ampersand? Okay, like in the C language, Java, right? And I used the single ampersand, and then I realized, okay, I need to use double ampersand. Sometimes when you work with multiple languages, right, you will get confused. Remember that if you want to use and, then you need to use double ampersand. And this one is by the or. Okay, this or. And in is, supposing you have a column by the name of channel name is available in a table by the name of channel. You want to retrieve the data related to these three channels. The advantage of in is inside the in, you can specify all the more than one search pattern. So store in online catalog. Otherwise, what will happen if you use or? You can use or also. Channel name is equal to store, or channel name equal to online, or channel name equal to catalog. You have to use multiple or. Instead, you can use in. Okay, now followed by the in, you specify all the values that you want to use it to filter the data from this column. Okay. So the double pipeline is or, and this is your the and the next one is in. Okay, in list, we call it in list, logical or. It creates a logical or condition. Look here, what I said was correct, right? Between each value, include a list of values. You can include a list of values there. The next one is the switch in DAX. This is the fantastic option that is available in this function, fantastic function. This one, you don't have to write nested if else and all. Okay, using switch, you can reduce the lines of code. Okay, and that is the advantage of this one. The syntax is unlike if, but we will explain it to you below. So that's what they mentioned. The first argument is expression, value one, result one else. This is how you can use it. Switch is very much handy if you wanted to test more than one condition. Nested if condition, if you want to test it, right? In that kind of situation, this is very much helpful. For example, if I just show you how this switch function, all the things works in the Power BI desktop, and also I'll show you what is or, when we can use or, all the things. I just go here, and this is my sales W0. Okay, and here what I do is we have the sales values there. I'm going to say the volume. Okay, sales volume. I'm going to create a new column by the name of sales volume. Sorry, not the table. Mistakenly I clicked it. I should have clicked new column. I just click cross. I just click on the data view. So here I just click on the new column. So I'm going to use, I just define this as a, sales volume or some, or region volume. Region volume. Here I just, on the right side, I just use the switch function. You don't have to type the entire word, just type the first 2 or 3 letters. So you'll get something like this. Okay, the code completion facility is available. And then you can see the syntax also along. Sorry, mistakenly I just pressed enter. Followed by the switch. If you, I just remove it. Look here, the expression value 1 and result 1. Okay, and here the expression, I'm going to specify it as a true, so that it will enter this switch function. Since the condition is true, it will enter inside. And the next one is here, what I'm going to do is the sales value. What is the sales value? Yeah, sales is here. I have sales, right? Yes, yeah, capital letter, all sales. Okay, why it uses all sales? 1 second, let me just check. Sales. Okay, here I don't see the. It shows only the this one, right? The region name. Okay, 1 second. Let me just. All sales. It's something weird. Okay. I have created all sales column already, right? 1 second. Let me check whether I'm using the proper column. It's same thing only, right? I'll just minimize this. Okay, sales W04 only. Okay, here I have country state correct, and I just do the new column here. Look here, it is available. I made some mistake that time. Okay, here, okay, the first argument, suppose you are true. And then what I do is I just press this one here. And then what I do is I just check some condition here. If the sales volume is more than 2000, I just say 2500. I just say this one as high volume. I just create a bucketing here. Okay, high volume. And then volume. The next one is greater than 2000, and let's 25,000. Okay, and then here what I do is, in this case, we'll start with the low here. You can write it that way also. Anyhow, for you to understand, right? Greater than uh, 25,000. What I do is I just say less than or equal to, and here greater than. Okay, greater than 25,000. And look here, this is how you need to use and thing here, logical operator. The next one is sales W0. You want to define a range here. Okay. Sales. Mm, 25,000 and greater than 25,000 and less than or equal to, let's say, 4,000. Okay, how much? Yeah, here we don't have that much value here. 2,500. I just make it 2,500. Here also I make it 2,500 and 4,000. Okay, and the I just say this one as well, let's see. I just say more than 2,000. Here I just change it to 2,000. Okay. So I'm not sure if we have more than that. That's why I registered users. Here I just say greater than 2,000. The range I just define it here, and less than or equal to 2,500. I call this as a medium volume. And then I just check whether the syntax is correct or not. I just close it. It's doing perfect job. Okay, similarly, we can define another condition. Anything above 2,500 and less than 10,000 or something, that is called your high volume. So here, low volume, anything less than 2,000. Look here, what is the sales? This is less than 2,000. Hence, I just define as a low volume. And medium volume is something like 2,135, less than 2,000. Right? So, sorry, it should be, yeah, anything greater than 2,000 and less than 2,500. Obviously, this is falling in this range, right? So you might be wondering, why do I need to create this column? Already I have a sales column. Why do I need to create the something like I just specify as a region volume? Why do I need to create this column? Sometimes what will happen is they want to do some kind of bucketing analysis, okay? And they want to do a filter the medium or the high volume related sales. In the high volume sales, how much profit we got it. In each bucket, the high volume sales, how much profitability we got it. Medium volume, how much we got it. Low volume, how much profitability we got it. See, it doesn't mean if the volume is very high, the profitability also very high, isn't it? Sometimes the volume is medium, but the profitability is more. Let's say you sell a printer. In this case, the printer, the actual price is, the selling price 2,135, but the cost price is much less. Let's say 1,500. So you get more margin in this case. Okay, just because the sales value is medium here, that doesn't mean the margin is less. Okay, so in order to perform those kind of analysis, you need to have a column like this one. You need to do so. This is called binning. It is also called as a binning. I just write it here. BINNING. Okay, binning, and or they call it as a bucketing. Okay, they create like this. So now you understood how to use this logical function switch. The switch, with the help of the switch, you don't have to write multiple if. See, instead of switch, you can use if condition. If sales is less than or equal to 2000, low volume. Else, if sales is, you need to write multiple if else conditions instead of writing nested. In the case of nested else if conditions, if you want to use it, better you can go for switch. So with the help of switch, you don't have to write too many lines of code. It reduces your coding effort. Okay, and now you understood what is, and again, I can create one more condition. You can probably, give it a try, high volume. So anything, and what you do is okay, anyhow, I just type it here and I just share this one to you all. Okay, you can also create another column and then see this one and then try to create this. And those of you who don't have any programming background, so try that way. Okay, and here sales underscore W04, and in this case, sales greater than 2500. Channel, yeah, 1 second. Here I don't have channel column, no? Yeah. So here you have something in operator, right? Try in operator. Why don't you try this one? I have given this one, right? Yeah, sales is greater than 2501 because of high volume. Okay, that's it. Press enter. So now look here, we can see the this is above 2501 and it shows high volume. Okay, so now you understood how to use the switch function with this simple example, and also you can use a switch function to map the values. Supposing you have something like I just copy paste this. Here everything is available. Yeah, postal code market. Okay, let's say here you have market. Let's say there is a requirement, right? You want to display Europe instead of EU. You need to display it as Europe. Okay, and for example, US, United States, something like that. Okay, you need to map the original value with the converted value or the extended value. So EU, you need to map it with Europe. Okay, so in that kind of situation also you can use the switch function. I'll just show you quickly here. And what we do is column tools, new column. So here what I do is I just say market name. So in this case, if you want to map anything, right? So here what you do is here you have the market column is available. Simply you put it here, and if the market is EU. So in the case of inequality operators like less than or equal to, greater than or less than or equal to, in that case you need to specify the first argument as true. But in the case of the comparing the value, for example, in the market column, I have something called EU value is available. Okay, and replace the EU by Euro. Something like that. Okay. And similarly, if you want to use something else, some other thing, what are the things are there? And you have something else called market. Where is the market column here? Oh yeah, EU. And then what else we have it here? Yeah, we have something APAC. I just check it here quickly. Okay, once I click it, it will get executed. That's the problem here. Market name, now it shows error because it was not closed with the proper thing. And we have something called APAC, Asia Pacific. I just click on it, and now here I just say APAC, Asia Pacific. See, in the real-time scenario, these kind of things are very much helpful. Understanding. Look here, wherever EU is there, it replaces the, it created, so we have created a new column. We did not replace the existing column value, right? We create a new column. In the new column, we have mapped the extended name for the country name or the region name for the abbreviated one. Okay, for EU, wherever EU is there, look here for all the EU, Europe, you can see it. And next one is I used Asia Pacific. You just click on this drop down and you can see it in Asia Pacific, right? That is and similarly we have some other values are there. You can map that one like this. Okay, this is your original value and this is what your target value. Okay, and we are storing all this target value in a new column, market name, something like that. Okay, so this is one simple example. In the case of real-time scenario, right? What we do is we have something called 1, 2, 3, something is there, and you want to give some meaningful name, right? You can give it, you can create it something like this. So one is so region 1, region 2, something like that. Okay. So the difference here is in this case, we are we have specified the column name as it is. Okay. In this column, what value is there? EU. So for the EU, you need to create create a new value as a Europe and store this value in the market name, right? And then for APAC, you create you specify it as a encode it as a Asia specific for all the APAC related market. In this column, you for all the APAC related records, you replace. You can create, you can assign Asia specific in the market name column. It is as simple as that. But whereas in this column, we are using the numeric value, right? Sales is a numeric value. So in that case, we need to use less than or equal to inequalities. In that case of, we need to use true. And in the case of text type of thing, right? You can use some directly like this column name and something like that. Supposing you want to compare more than one column, so you can use double ampersand, something like that. Okay. And then next one is the we can do text concatenation also. How do we do text content concatenation? For example, you wanted to, we have something called, do we have category here? I don't see the category. For example, you want to concatenate both the market and region. These two columns are text data, right? Just for you people to understand how to do the text concatenation. How do we do that? So I just go and click on the new column. Here, I just want to use, see, in the case of customer name, let's say you have the first name of the customer stored in a separate column, last name is stored in a different column. So in that case, what we do is, if you want to merge it into a single thing, right? What we do is we use something called ampersand, text concatenation. That is called text concatenation. I just click on the new column one more time. For example, category and subcategory, you want to combine these two things and store it in a separate column. Okay, cat and subcategory. Another classic example is first name and last name. You want to combine the customer first name, last name is available in a separate column. You want to combine those two things together. So in that kind of situation also, you can use this approach. So here what I do is category ampersand. Here you can give leave space and then ampersand, again you need to use it. Sorry. So here you need to use ampersand. And the next one is the subcategory. I just press enter. That's it. Look here. Here I have used one ampersand, and then in between I used double quote, and then here I left one space here. So that what will happen is the values in the category column and the values in the subcategory column will get combined together. Look here, technology is the category and the subcategory is the phones. In between, I want to leave a space here. And that's the reason why I left space here. If you don't leave space, what will happen? Both of them will get combined. It's difficult to find out which one is category, which one is subcategory. And if you want to leave more than one space, press space bar. Okay. So now you will have two spaces will be there between these two category and subcategory. Look here. So in that kind of situation, you can do text concatenation. And what are the other things are there now? I just go to the PowerPoint. Okay, now I understood how to use this logical function switch. A switch is very much handy, especially if you want to, if you want to implement a nested if logic, nested if condition logic. In that kind of situation, it is very much helpful. And then variables, we will see it little later. We'll discuss about the variables a little later. Because I have some other examples, I need to relate this one with that kind of situation. I'll explain you. The next one is